Okay, complex numbers. I need to find this product right here. 7 plus 6i times 2 minus 3i. So they're both complex numbers. So when I multiply two complex numbers together, my result needs to be a third complex number. So I FOIL. I take 7 times 2, 7 times negative 3i, 6i times 2, and then 6i times negative 3i. So that's going to be 14, negative 21i, positive 12i, and then negative 18i to the second. Okay, the I to the second needs to be replaced by negative 1, and then the product of negative 18 times negative 1 is positive 18. Okay, so for my i's, I've got negative 21 and 12. That makes negative 9 when you add them. Then 14 plus 18 is 32. Okay, solve the equation for x. You're finding these two answers. So x second, so that's all I have, so I'm going to not factor. I'm instead going to get like terms on opposite sides. So 3x to the second equals negative 24, and then I divide by 3. So x to the second equals negative 8, and then I find the square root of both sides. My x squared comes down to an x. And then if I have a negative under a square root, we need to make it positive and extract a letter I out here. So then I need to break down the square root. Now 8 divides by 4 from up on the board. And then what is 8 divided by 4? It's 2. So get rid of your square root of 4 and you know that's 2. So 2 square roots of 2, and then I insert the I right before the square root. So my answer is just 2i square root of 2, and then 2i square root of 2 negative. Okay, then my last one, there's two answers here, but I got x squared and x, so I'm going to need to use some factoring procedures. So GCF, and then the t-chart. There's no GCF in those three terms. 6 times positive 11 is positive 66, so I'm looking for a sum of 4, but that's impossible. So we use our quadratic formula. So opposite of b is negative 4 plus or minus c square root, b squared minus, and then these three. So b is 4, and then a 4 for a, and then 6 and 11. Now 2 times 6 is 12. So I have negative 4 plus or minus, and then 12 in the denominator. Now let's go to town on that square root right there. Second, double your parentheses, 4 to the second minus a 4, a 6, and an 11. It says domain error, so what we need to do is make our own square root. And first I'm just going to plug the numbers in that are under the square root. So 4 second without the square root, minus 4, sorry, that's bad, 4, 6, and 11, okay? So it's negative 248. So I need to make that positive and extract an I out there. Okay, now this one here, you'd have to run some trial and error because 248, you know, it's not the most common number in the world. Eventually, you'd find that you can divide 248 by 4. It's divisible by 4. 248 divided by 4 is 62. So the square root of 4 is 2, so it's 2 square root 62. And then we're going to have to insert the I right there. Now, when you're leaving i's and square roots in there, you don't go any further. You don't add and divide or subtract and divide. You can't do that when there's a square root with it and an I. So those are essentially my answers. Negative 4 plus 2i square root 62 over 12, and then negative 4 minus 2i square root 62 over 12. Okay, and those are my answers.